on, guys. Just 1 minute. Alright. Oh, wrong one. I hate when this fucking does this here. So annoying. Alright. Welcome in, everybody. Today we're going to be watching the Total War live stream, Building Medieval 3 Dynasties, Economy, and Factions today. But it's not going to start until 10:30, so we're going to watch some James Randall first. Yeah. So sit back, enjoy your, yeah, go get some coffee or something. I don't know. Whatever you do in your meantime. We will be doing some, Valheim later on today. After I go eat or something, I don't know. But anyway, and also, hopefully, we get affiliated today. Yeah, we're almost there. We just need one more day and we're golden. Anyway, let's, just go ahead and hop in right here, right?
I'm here for the birthday party.
Oh, Petey, my
Yeah,
birthday
I need to also
on
check the audio.
January 15th.
My birthday, Jim.
Alright,
You didn't
I
remember
just wanted to see the
that
audio.
it's my birthday?
Why, Iona, you think you can get away with stabbing me? You think you can just come over here and put a knife in my guts, Petey? You think... Why, I ought to defend myself.
Well, I have to defend myself.
Not worth the extra bullets.
Pull the trigger, please. Please pull the trigger.
Not worth the extra bullets.
Please put me out of my misery. I'm in so much fucking pain. Oh, my balls. Oh.
Oh my god.
It's circumcision time.
I don't want to hurt you, but if I have to, I will... Hey, Champy.
I always knew you didn't want to.
A man's gotta defend himself when in the presence of a dangerous birthday man.
I only get 1 day a year to do whatever I want to.
Easy. You can do whatever you want on any day. That's the beauty of living and being alive on the days of our lives.
There's our victim.
What the hell? What do you mean, victim?
My special day.
Easy. You can't just go around hurting people because it's your
I'm not
birthday.
gonna hurt him. I'm gonna give him a slice of cake.
Tell him about his birthday. Petey, tell him about your birthday.
It's my special day.
Tell him about your birthday.
Oh.
It's the most
It's his
special day
birthday.
of my life. It's my birthday, and I wanna watch
Really?
you sit on it.
Don't
me
sit
to
on
sit
the
on the
cake.
cake.
Petey,
I don't wanna
stop.
sit on
You're
the cake.
acting
Please,
crazy.
please sit on my cake.
Petey.
Please
No,
take your
that's not
pants
right.
off and sit on my
What the
cake.
fuck?
You're acting crazy on your birthday. Sir, I'm sorry. Is he making you uncomfortable?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Just say the word. Petey, is it really your birthday?
Happy birthday.
No.
You can't lie about these things. It's a sin.
Oh. Oh my god.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Alright.
Don't worry.
Okay, I'm not. You just killed him.
For Jesus, the greatest cardinal sin that the Lord has ever been a part of
Oh
is
my god.
somebody lying about their birthday. That's the first way to go to hell. There's all sorts of ways, but that's the first. Oh, he's gone.
How we doing there, sir?
Hi there, officer. What seems to be the... What does it seem?
Well, honestly, it seems to be about 91 degrees out, a little overcast, but not a very bad day. How do you seem to be?
Jeez, Petey Pacino is lying and telling everybody it's his birthday, and I need to blow the whistle.
James, just last week I walked in on him eating a cum sock in the bathroom of Up and At 'Em.
I fail to see how that's relevant. I think that's a perfectly normal thing for a man of his stature to do, but lying about his birthday is where I draw the line.
Oh my God, is that Ellen DeGeneres?
Petey, shut up! You know it's not Ellen DeGeneres. How dare you do that?
It sounds like Ellen DeGeneres. It's my birthday.
What the hell? I feel like I'm having an out-of-body experience on the cell phone. Oh, that bastard hung up on me. Leo, it's
No,
not even his birthday.
I'm gonna tell
Is that
you
a
that.
dog, sir?
No,
Oh
no.
my god, I'm
What
gonna
the
take
hell?
it.
Be
It's
Oh,
careful,
please,
dog.
please, no.
The dog? What the
Okay,
hell?
don't worry,
It's
don't
squirrely.
worry, don't worry.
Oh,
What?
okay.
Oh, Petey.
Dirty rat.
Oh no, Jesus
No,
Christ.
no.
He kicked my dog.
Do it.
James.
He kicked my dog.
It's all right.
Put
Look,
me out of
it's
my
all right.
inventory.
Look, it's all right. Look, it's all right.
My God.
Give him back. Give him back.
Help!
Give him back. Give him back.
Help!
Have him. We've got unfinished business. He has to sit on my cake.
Give him back.
Oh my God.
What is she doing?
Help!
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh, Jesus. Oh, PT's back.
I escaped! I escaped! I escaped! I escaped! I escaped. He was going to kill me. He took me to the morgue and he was going to bury my body, but I was so scared I escaped. We have to catch him. We have to stop him. We have to put a stop to him.
Mister, yeah, all right, listen, calm down.
Oh,
Breathe in and breathe out.
oh,
Don't worry. Yeah, breathe. What the hell? If Petey Pacino ever comes
Thank
and tries
you.
to kill you again, I will put bullets in him.
Thank you, everybody. Thank
I will
you.
riddle him with bullets.
As long as we never see him again, we'll be safe.
He's not gonna take you ever.
God damn.
Oh! Here, we might need a boost here. Need a boost.
Hey, Therapist Randall, are you okay?
Don't move.
Anyone else feel anything sharp? I feel lightheaded right now.
Taxi, I need a ride. Large taxi. Oh, hello, Norwegian James. How are you?
Hello, Jens.
Oh my God, you're speaking English now. Who's been teaching you?
Are you Norwegian?
Yes, this is Norwegian James. This is my home.
Me.
Oh, you want to go home? Oh, go home. Norwegian James, you want to fly back to Norway? We have to go to the airport. Norwegian James, I'm so happy that you've graced my life with your presence, and I'm so happy for you to go to the homeland. You deserve it.
You visit. You visit.
You miss it. You miss it.
You come visit.
Oh, I will visit. I will visit. You're doing so good. I'm so proud of you, Norwegian James.
Where fly?
Right here, right here.
Oh shit!
Oh God.
I feel fine.
We're good. Don't worry. 55 year drive bus.
He's been a bus driver for 55 years, and he's only 55 years old.
Wow, since you're born.
The day Norwegian James was born, his Peppy duct taped him to the gas pedal of the family Fjordhound bus.
Oh, there's a private plane right there.
There, I brought this here specifically for you, Norwegian James.
Oh,
I made sure this was here for you, young man.
where'd it go?
Now, Norwegian James, come on over. Let's get you to Norway, where you were.
Oh shit, look at that. Chat, wait, hold on. Is this TOS?
Chaz, is this TOS?
I think that might be TOS. I'm calling 911.
Oh, yeah, wait, hold on. I need
I think you actually gotta start 611.
Come on, Norwegian James. Hop on this plane.
Let's get out on here.
Let's get out of here. Going to Norway with Norwegian James in the plane. Go, someone give us a quick little push so we can get a head start. I'll
Alright, we have
always remember you,
13 minutes
Norwegian
to
James.
go.
Off go. When I go live, I did dig.
I'll always remember you, Norwegian James.
I think he's just making noise. Mountain.
We'll always remember you, Norwegians. Oh, look at the mountains. Look out the window. Whoa, whoa.
Oh, okay.
Careful.
No.
Whoa.
Ooh, low.
Oh God.
Oh, no. No.
Ooh.
No, Norwegian James, no. Norwegian James.
It's not quite Top Gun, but it kind of looks like when they left Steve.
Chaz.
Norwegian James.
Alright. I think he's home now.
My god, look at those hands.
I'll always remember you and how you crashed your plane into that fjord.
God bless you.
What the fuck?
Well, it's
Alright. Mr. Randall, are you doing alright?
I think I'll be okay.
out of here.
Oh, my British clone is live.
You got a British clone?
First Petey fakes his birthday and then my clones start passing away. This has been one of the worst days of my life, if not the worst day of my life. I think this is potentially the worst thing that's ever happened to a person before, and my Norwegian clone is all I ever held dear to me. And now he's dead. You fucking did this! Piece of plane! Piece of plane killing my Norwegian clone! Reloading. Piece of plane! You! You killed my dang clone! I won't rest until this godforsaken death trap of a plane is gone! I won't rest! I won't rest! You son of a... You killed my Norway clone! You killed my Norway clone, you piece of I hate you! I hate you! I'm gonna go back in time and behead the Wright brothers. You! Ah!
Long live Norwegian James.
Ah! 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 It's okay. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay, you and me. It's time for you to go home as well. Let's find you a plane. I understand you have to go back. You have family waiting for you. You have a dentist appointment. I understand.
Yes.
I prepared this plane for you, British James. It's time for you to go back to Britain.
It's gonna be a bad thing when we get back to the
Oh god. How did he survive that? How in the fuck did he survive that?
Oh my god. Maybe a plane isn't the safest bet, nor British James.
I need to swim home, bruv.
Maybe we need to get you a boat or something.
It's time.
His mouth isn't moving. I don't know what's happening.
Goodbye. Wait, Bud.
I'll miss you. I'll miss you, British James.
Oh, he's dead too.
Oh my god.
Swim home, British James. Swim back to Britland. I love you. I'll always remember you. Hi there, young man. My British clone tripped and hit his head, but he's fine. He's swimming back to the UK now. You hear him? He's swimming.
Bye. You have to actually start to swim.
Stand 140, bruv.
Farewell, British James.
I'll eat some chips just for you.
Thank you. He'll appreciate that. I know he'll appreciate that. I just want to thank you for that.
This is democracy, management.
He's already made it farther than he did last time.
Wow. It's almost romantic in a way.
Yeah.
Back to Brit.
That is hilarious. Yeah, we got 8 minutes left. Yeah, go check out Space Boy. He's really great. Good actor. Fucking hilarious. He's a funny guy. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna be doing medieval stream here. We'll be doing Valheim later on today. Yeah. We're about to hit affiliate if we can get those numbers up. um, I hope we get to see. Well, probably won't be in this stream. I hope we get to see like some gameplay, actual gameplay. But it most likely won't be in this one. This one I'll probably be talking about like fucking buildings and factions and shit like that, and get this and whatever. So yeah, no Total War today. I'm probably gonna push that on the weekend. So, I'll probably do Warhammer. No, not Warhammer, Rome 2. Gotta finish the, war I'm in. Ugh. I hope you're having a good Thursday. Is it? Yeah, Thursday. I'm gonna... Can't click on anything. So yeah, they must have changed their minds on 1047 or something like that. Ugh, fuck. I didn't even know this was coming. Yeah, go ahead and check out Space Boys. There it is. Right. Tell them I sent you. Uh, I think I'm going to stretch my legs a little bit. Got 6 minutes to go. So, get something to drink, stretch, do whatever. Okay. I'll be right back. Alright, guys, I'm going to get something to drink. I'll be right back. I'm gonna let this just start. So, enjoy it. I'll be right back real quick. Alright. Be right back, okay?
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Building Medieval 3
What are we doing?
characters, economy, and factions. Dynasties, economy, and factions.
Yep.
Um,
Everything medieval.
I don't know what it is. It's as soon as we go live, I have an absolute mental blank of what the title of the stream is every time. It'll be an awful compilation one day. Welcome back to, I guess, us streaming. We've been away for about a month. The last time was our 10th anniversary Warhammer stream. We're back in the swing of things, and we will be kicking it off with a fantastic stream to come back to.
Yes, we're very excited. I mean, we last streamed Med Free in the show and tell, right?
Yep.
We talked about the
Concept
HRE
art and the
roster.
roster, yeah.
But yeah, we've got some very exciting stuff lined up for you guys today. So yeah, very excited.
Alright, I'm back.
Just turning down the background music for everyone,
Okay.
because they can't hear over the music, but that's fine. That'll be
Do we
fixed
need
now.
to repeat?
Nope. By the time they hear it, because what I'm now going to ask is, so this is our we said what, our third and a half stream for Medieval 3. So for those of you who didn't see it in the show and tell, we had a really cool section there, and I think we're going to be expanding a little bit on that at the start of this stream.
Yep.
Yes.
But to kind of set expectations of what you guys are going to be able to see, you can see it along that bottom bar. So we're starting off characters and dynasties. We've got a few little bits to cover before that, but correct me if I'm wrong, that will be an in-game footage, in-engine look.
Yes, we're going to be showing campaign. I mean, the first time we streamed back in December, we showed campaign, and then we're back again looking at campaign today. Yeah.
And then following that, we'll have a big bulk of trade and economy, which is a very important topic to kind of the simulation of the game. I think some of that will be showing in-engine as well.
Some of it will be in, yeah.
And then lastly, we've got factions and redacted, which is something we'll be. Factions is factions. We'll be talking about the playable factions that you can see at launch. But then we'll be talking about something else.
Well, something related. Yeah.
Something related. Something very fun. So
Oh, man.
But first, we want to show you guys some in-engine footage. Shall we start by recapping, just for those who are joining, our past Medieval 3 streams? So you hinted at, we've shown campaign before.
Yep.
The focus of that stream, I think, was a bit higher level.
Generally, the map, we talked a lot about the map overall, how the map is broken up into regions, and sort of, let's say, the pieces on the map and the board that you're concerned with. I think we talked a little bit about economy at the time as well.
We looked
sort of on a high level.
Yeah, we looked at construction, of directly building castles and forts and towns on the map, which was a new kind of thing that we're exploring. That was very exciting to talk about. So yeah, so that was the first campaign.
And then we moved on to, we had sieges,
settlements, and sieges. Exactly, we talked about.
God, they're fucking low, aren't they? Jesus Christ.
Always a big challenge. And then yeah, we talked a little bit about siege gameplay, walls, ladders, planning, and the key at the very end.
Hopefully that's not too loud.
it was show and tell, which was about factions and units and compositions, right?
Yeah, we gave an update on unit rosters and how
yeah, all of that stuff is on our forums, in the blogs. So yeah, do check out
Yep.
the Med Free forums for more detailed info if you missed it.
I have seen a few people have asked us to turn the volume up. This is the max we go. So we can't. We will.
Do we need to project?
We'll project.
Louder. Okay.
Part of the problem will be that we have many fans going in the room at the moment.
It is currently 36 degrees plus outside.
It is.
There is no active air conditioning in this room
No,
because
and
of the hum.
it's
If you
completely
remember the
blacked
early
out.
streams, there was a background noise that was quite triggering for some.
And
So we turned off the fan. So we're left with quite.
Oh, they had the
and
fan
we
on
also have
last
an
time.
air
That's
code
why.
that we were not allowed to wear shorts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Based on Josh's
I had
direction.
them and then I forgot
We
my
were told,
And
hand.
then
"Her legs are not
look at
allowed,"
these
and then-
glorious legs.
It's a
there,
leg
so-
reveal. It's the
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
important part of
Legs
the stream.
reveal.
So you will see us getting significantly wetter across the
All right.
along the stream.
Well, before we jump in, then there was one thing. So we announced this stream a couple of days ago,
Yeah.
and there was one thing we'd seen mentioned in the chat. We called it sorry, in the I think it was on Reddit or maybe on the forums. We called it a little bit too late to be able to respond directly in that forum, but there were some questions I think about the art we were using for the blogs.
Yes. Yes, yeah. The question with regards to the
Cathedral, yeah.
the cathedral, the some mentions of AI or no, we do not use AI in any of our images. This is that particular image. We've kind of used it for a few at the beginning as well a few times. It's an image that has evolved over time. So it's actually that's a later iteration of an earlier image that we basically play around with different backgrounds. So potentially some of the perspective or consistency,
Good, no fucking
is
AI.
the fact that we're just bashing different
Using
kind of
different
forms,
layers,
different layers. So that it's purely just a working concept really that we're using for that. So yeah, no, we don't use AI for our images. That was done by our artists and then iterated upon by our art director. Just playing around with different kind of. We go to quite a lot of detail. We actually I remember at some point we're saying, oh, we need nobles on the bridge and we need some peasants in the. So we're kind of constantly changing and tweaking.
Fantastic. So yeah, we just want to clarify that.
Yep.
So we won't dwell. I have just two more things and then we'll start ramping up. So the last one was what is pre-production? So for those who've come in and that term isn't familiar to them.
Yeah, so when we announced Med3 back in December, we kind of showed the game. We kind of talked about how we were in early pre-production. The game is still in pre-production. Pre-production is
I mean, of course, yeah.
building the foundations for the game, where we're kind of doing the roster designs and figuring out how everything comes together. So those foundations are in place and ready for when the team grows in production. And we saw a few posts with regards to the Warhammer 40k news and the demos that we showed, and why there's such a difference in what we're showing. And that's because Warhammer 40k is far later in the development cycle than we are. We're much earlier in that pre-production phase, which is why the footage and the stuff we're showing is quite different, because it's a very different stage of development.
Yeah, I think internally we always talk about risk management, right? Like anything that's unknown or anything that might have unknown unknowns, right? That's a big focus during pre-production, where it's not so much about content or individual traits or individual details. It's about, okay, how is this all working from an experience, but also from a technical level, right?
And obviously, we never expose this side of development to the community. We never talk about it. This is something we do behind closed doors, and then we reveal and announce the game once it's already way along. But obviously, this time around with Med3, this is what we're doing because we want to get feedback. We want to engage with the community and ask questions and be able to adjust and tweak and also communicate and talk about where we're coming from, how we're thinking and approaching the development of this title, because it's so important to many of our fans. So yeah, this is why we're talking about it.
Fantastic. Well then, I believe we're going to start off with a few images before we.
Yep.
So, you happy for me to throw it up on you to explain, or do you want some preamble first?
Yeah, no, I mean just throw it on the
Come on,
screen.
show us some
so
stuff.
last time we were talking.
Tell me if it's the wrong image, by the way.
No, that's the right one.
Hey.
Last time we spoke.
Oh, that's the last time.
About the Holy Roman Empire roster. I think we shared a bit of a, let's say, we call it a thumbnail sheet, but basically an overview of a lot of different units in sort of a structure and hierarchy with the upgrade paths. Since then, roster research has really been a big focus of large parts of the team. You can see here essentially now the final concepting stage. This is the Konstaffler unit that we talked about last time. One of the cultural units, in fact.
That's nice, actually.
The Holy Roman Empire would have access to early on. as part of the Franconian
I like
culture.
this helmet right here. That's pretty
And this is
cool.
sort of the final concepting stage that we do before we are
I
ready to
love the
essentially now
colors.
create the unit in 3D.
So is that passed on to the artists to then try and sell?
Essentially, yeah. And this is now essentially also signed off with our consultant that we work with for Western Europe, Tobias Capwell. And since we last spoke, we also really expanded our consultant team, you could say. So yeah, Tobias Capwell, he's sort of the expert for European arms and armor. We've already working with
Professor Wilson.
Professor Wilson, exactly, who's sort of the expert for the Holy Roman Empire and for sort of overall Western Europe. And since then, recently we started collaborating with Professor Jonathan Phillips, who is the professor for Crusading History, which is a really cool job title, slightly jealous, who's going to help us overall with the Crusades, but also generally the Middle Eastern realms. He has a really, let's say, a really good objective look at say the Fatimids, Ayyubids, and these dynasties. And we're working with Arthur Beale, who's the assistant curator for Ottoman, Middle Eastern, and Asian arms and armor at the Wallace Collection.
Well remembered.
He's going to help us with a lot of the Middle Eastern rosters, sort of in that Seljuk realm. So a lot of exciting stuff going on in terms of unit roster research. You can flick over to the next image just to give a let's say a teaser or appetizer. This is from the French roster.
French.
It's currently being designed. That's a thumbnail for the sort of middle period, so 13th century, early 14th century French men at arms, heavy infantry unit, which we're currently working on, and yeah, we're gonna collaborate with Toby on.
Yeah, this looks very nice.
Just answer Steve's question. We are alright. We don't need water. We're very hydrated here. A lot of people concerned about us collapsing halfway through the
Even
stream.
for like just concept art.
Is there? Do you want me to flick to the next one?
That's an exciting one. I know people will be frustrated.
People are trying to work out the rosters based on all of the art that's being shown.
Okay. Yeah. So this is going to be frustrating for you in chat if you can't read it, but you're not meant to read it yet because it's work in progress.
When it's finished, we will release this image.
Western European.
In all its glory.
But it's a great work by our concept art team because tackling heraldry is quite challenging. Heraldry, for anyone interested in it, it's quite a evolving.
Can we like zoom in?
Quite literally science, you could say, during
I can't
the
see
period
shit.
where it was constantly changing. A lot of let's say geographical particularities, right? So it's quite challenging to really create a framework, a system that we can use across the game, or at least across, let's say, Western Europe. And that's what the team is currently working on. Essentially,
I like that they have
a rule set of how
horses and armor and shit.
dynasties, local regions,
pretty fucking cool.
and other factors would impact how a unit looks in terms of its flags. You can see two layers of flags here: the main unit flag and secondary flags, a bit smaller, and of course also the attire and the clothing of the unit itself.
And this is a real challenge in most games, and especially in a game such as this where heraldry is a thing. It's such a it's a very difficult task to balance,
cool.
right? Because we have to balance the kind of user experience of being
Fully
able to identify
Roman
your own
Empire.
faction. So you've got the faction color aspect,
Or German Empire,
identifying
whatever.
friend from foe. Then you've got the heraldry representation, the different army, the different unit types, classes, all in all, and trying to balance that so it also feels authentic and not too gamey. And it's always a big task. But here, in particular,
of course, really important for us. It's always a sandbox. Like it's not prescribed. Like this dynasty will always work within that faction. No, it could move around. So it all has to fit into a sort of a modular visual framework.
And because of the faction design, and you've got the dynasties, the cultures feed in. It can be a real kind of melting pot of heraldry essentially in your faction.
There was a question if there's an intent to include upgrading weapons and armor as visuals on the units as they were in Medieval 2?
Absolutely, yes. I think we've spoken about it.
Yeah, that's
we've
written about last time. Yeah,
but we definitely, yes.
It's essentially the upgrade paths are not. You're not upgrading the unit. You're really upgrading the equipment because that's effectively how it worked during medieval times.
Yeah.
Yeah, so super exciting. I think there's a forum thread. I believe there's a forum thread. Check out our forums where we wrote a little bit more about how heraldry would work in the game. I think it would be part of the blog hopefully as well, blog recap. So if you want to know more, please join the forums.
Cool.
Yes.
Should I put it back to us while you get the game set up?
Yeah.
Awesome. Right. Okay, Life's just going to get the game set up then.
Yep.
While he's doing that, so we're going to be talking now about characters and dynasties. What level of pre-production?
So I'm gonna give the usual disclaimer for our newcomers on the stream. Hello, thanks for joining us. We will be showing you our current live game code. This is the campaign game as it was built this morning.
Last night.
It's last night. It's yesterday's build. So this is our live dev build. So one thing that we with these streams we this isn't like this curated kind of planned thing. I mean, we plan to do these on a regular basis. Quarterly we've discussed, and that's how it's panning out. But we intend to show you the latest that we have that we're currently working with. So sometimes that may be very broken because that's what a few days ago we were at a stage where we were probably showing you something very broken, but actually we managed to get some bugs fixed, so it's all good. But this is our current build, and this is the pre-production build. So everything you see here is block out artwork. There's no final art. Even the things that look like they may be final, they are not. The basic shapes for the 3D geometry. The UI is there's some intent there, but it's still all very placeholder. Even the things that look maybe like final illustrations, they are not. It's just us exploring different
So pretty much take it
different
with a grain of salt.
and this changes depending on how the team's working with the different elements. So yeah, you'll see the different.
Again, this is not
stages
finished. It's still in
as we stream.
pre-production.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, let's fire it up.
Right. Let's hope I've set this up.
All right, let's get to see it.
That looks glorious.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the things we talked about right from the start was our new engine, right, Walko, and how the fact that we can really experiment so much already is a big sort of testament to that. But it also means that sometimes we get a little hiccups. Like we had a few days ago, the ocean was had evaporated, was no longer there, and we got that one fixed. But there's still
reverse global warming.
A week before that, we had no buildings or characters displaying.
Yeah, everything was underground. So
one thing worth mentioning: we have no roads currently. So apologies, roads have disappeared. But that's
just no roads.
Just game day.
And there will be, for those of you who are sensitive to like flickering lines, there may be a few of them in there.
So we are back in our campaign sort of petri dish early on in Iberia. I think in the first stream we talked a lot about why Iberia. It is a good microcosm of the entire medieval world. Like we have all the religions there. We have a lot of different cultures. Basically everything we feel like is integral to the medieval theater overall is present in Iberia. So it's an exciting, smaller, zoomed-in space essentially to work in. A lot of things have changed, of course, since we last looked at it, but the main thing to start with is characters. Last time, and we looked at it in December, we wouldn't have had the notion of a character in the campaign at all. There's, of course, a lot that goes into that. It's a thing that lives on the map, or certainly we want it to be able to navigate on the map, locomote across, pathfind, so there were, let's say, logical pieces that had to be put in place by the team. But characters are integral for any total war game, and of course with Med 3 and let's say the legacy we're tapping into with Med 2, characters are really iconic. So since then, we essentially worked on bringing back characters as a core piece of the campaign. We can see here we have Odono of Ivrea. He's I think our faction leader right now. This is now the characters are let's say bespokely authored. They're procedurally generated right now. But he's our faction leader, and I think we know a few really important core pieces we care about for characters. We want to bring back attributes. We want to really lean into traits. There was recently a longer discussion in the forums around are we going to bring back skill trees, and currently we intend not to. We feel like it's much more appropriate for, let's say, our approach, the simulation, a sandbox, a game that responds to you, that ultimately characters will develop sort of traits or skill-like traits over time and as you use them.
Skill
tree? Of course, an important part as well is how do you use characters? And one thing we are sure about right from the start is We want to get away with or move away from the notion of generals, agents of specific classes. You have powerful characters in your realm. Um, we talked about how these are essentially your, let's say, the next feudal layer underneath the crown, the important dukes and earls of your realm, the powerful people. And yeah, sometimes they lead armies, and sometimes you send them to a neighboring realm to engage in diplomacy, right? So I think that universal use is really important.
It's entirely up to you how you choose to use them, and they kind of, their traits will speak to what they're potentially, good at, right?
So is that the more you're using them in one kind of role, the more traits, the more they pick up that they're doing that kind of thing, or?
Yeah, and I think this can lead to really cool, let's say, dilemmas or situations where, okay, you're at war, all your powerful, great, let's say, capable, competent people, they're generals, and now there's a food crisis somewhere on the other side of your realm. Who do you send, right? And I think that makes almost like characters like a really important scarce resource. Like, where do you prioritize?
So just to underpin that, previously you would have generals, you would have agents, and different classes of agents. Here we just have characters.
Yep.
There's no, and then you choose where you place them.
You know one thing though?
I saw a really interesting question from chat.
I do like this right here.
Pre-production, so you
I like
get
that
different
actually.
answers to things, right?
Absolutely.
Pretty cool.
Just to hammer home, yes, there's a character there, looks quite final, nowhere near. This is not just pre-production, is pre alpha.
That answers
right?
all the people saying
Yeah.
ship it.
Yeah.
But the question they had was, when you go to play here, who are you playing as? Are you selecting that faction leader, or are you selecting the Kingdom of Castile? So their concern was, is this character going to have loads of flavor and traits of interest, but when they die, the air is quite bland?
It's all about the dynasty.
No, you're essentially well, there's that, but as a player, you're playing as the realm, as the crown. You're essentially once more like the concept of Castile, and you have a ruling dynasty, and that you care about them, but there might be a situation where another dynasty takes over after a while, and in fact, if you think about the Capetians, perhaps in France, it's almost like the ultimate run is to keep that ruling dynasty in place and keep it ruling for the entire period of the game. So you're not selecting characters, you're selecting realms or factions, and the dynasties are the important pieces that you care about. Because one thing we talked about, certainly in the forums, I'm not sure if you talked about it on stream, but the timeline. That we want to cover 300 years of history for the exciting progression of the medieval era you go through.
So named characters will come and go. Big named characters will come, but they will go. It's about that kind of the realm and the dynasties persisting over time.
And I guess, like in Medieval 2 and other titles, it's making the generic characters become as interesting as the named characters,
well, that's,
right?
that's it, as well. Yeah.
Like in your game, you might have King Joshua, who becomes the greatest general of all time, and that's your story.
Or a character emerges from battle as a man of the hour and becomes a
We're going to talk more about dynasties in a bit.
We are.
First, a few things about characters. So, they would have different roles. So there can be generals, but there can also, fulfill, let's say, civic duties. Certainly inspired by past agents that you could send across your map, like merchants in Med 2 or diplomats in Rome 2. Also a bit inspired by assignments from Three Kingdoms, where you could send characters to specific places to essentially bolster the economy there. And you would have very similar actions available to you here. So, for example, perhaps our king could go in and say, okay, I'm going to oversee construction in that local region. So you can really, let's say, send these powerful characters to important places on your realm, to boost economy, to perhaps calm down any local uprisings, public order problems, and so forth. And then of course an important part is that they're part of dynasties. So as you were saying, Pav, characters come and go. So one thing we feel like we learned a lot from past games is how important persistent progression is, right? Like if you have a great character, a great general, a great administrator, a great diplomat, they die after a few turns. That can be really frustrating. So we talk a lot about how can we make sure that this sense of progression is carried through with the dynasty. Imagine you have a character who gets the trade like competent siege defender, right? So he defended a few important siege battles. could that trait be inherited to his children, right? And then they pick it up. Or if you have multiple characters in a dynasty, they
Ugh.
all had a lot of great battles and siege experiences. Perhaps that dynasty is actually developing a tradition for sieges. So any character from that dynasty has now a greater chance or higher aptitude to develop siege boosting traits, right? So in that sense, you're using characters, you are acquiring, let's say, traits and skills with characters, but they feed back into the dynasty so that future generations benefit from it.
Yeah, yeah.
All
So it's
right.
almost like your house is known as
Yeah.
Yeah,
we are
exactly.
you you want someone to defend, you bring these people
And
in.
it's a nice way to keep an essence of those characters, kind of continuing throughout the dynasty. Because again, they're only there
Yeah,
for a lifespan, but you get to they have an influence
Yeah.
on the legacy
Ugh.
and the progression.
and it's not just, let's say, the raw skills, right? It's also a bit of that personality, right?
Yeah.
And the whole Hotspurs analogy comes to mind, right? Where you almost have that dynasty who's known for, yeah, there may be skilled administrators, but they're also really hot-headed, or they are quite cunning. They're all cunning, in the north.
Yeah.
That sort of thing where you build that, uh, yeah, personality around the
Yeah,
dynasty.
yeah. The untrustworthy. Well,
So
This is.
you can see here as an example, we have currently three dynasties present
yeah.
in our little kingdom of Castile. Um,
Oh.
the cool thing about dynasties is that they are present across multiple realms,
Yeah.
right? So we can see, again, this is all procedural, so we will,
Oh.
let's see. So, yeah, for example, House Ivrea, I can see there are a lot of characters of House Ivrea currently in the neighboring kingdom of Leon. And I think that will really lend itself to some cool, let's say, experiences, strategies also, where you can essentially start to meddle with other realms because of that
Connection.
dynastic connection.
Yeah.
Right? Imagine one of your powerful dynasties is actually aiming to become the ruler of a neighboring kingdom. You can support them, or maybe you backstab them.
It also gives a great little background context to kind of diplomatic marriages
Dude,
and
I'm gonna go
diplomacy, and it
all
gives it
Game
a
of
great
Thrones on their
symbolic
asses.
meaning because you've got this kind of this tapestry of interwoven dynasties throughout the map.
So dynasties, yeah, they will carry a lot of your progression. They're like in past games when you had your famous characters you cared about. Here it's really the dynasties you care about and the various characters within it. Um, but that can also sometimes cause trouble, right? We talk a lot internally how Medieval 3 is really about you, let's say, exerting your will over the medieval
Ooh.
world. You're going out to dominate the medieval world through conquest, through diplomacy, economy, but also politically. And you actually wrestling with those internal forces within your realm is really important. And not all the dynasties are always, trying to help you. They sometimes try to topple you or try to exert their will over your realm.
I think you're actually
Oh,
also
that's
in
pretty
that position.
cool.
I've seen a few times of can dynasties take over another faction,
Yes.
overthrow a princess, or
Yeah, no, exactly. And um, internally we always talk about the player feeling like the architect of the realm, right? That you're trying to build the kingdom of Castile how I want to build it. But those dynasties, they also want to have a say. They all want to be part of the architects basically, and you have to wrestle with what they want to achieve.
Yeah.
That's where agendas come in. Agendas are essentially, you could say, political plays. They're political
Blocking it.
agendas, motions, you could say. Essentially, things where people in your realm will say, hey, here's an issue, I think we should do that. And another character in your realm will say, well, hang on a minute, I have a counter proposal. And you, as the crown, you now have to essentially meddle and navigate in that political drama.
Can we change the
we
framing?
cannot.
We cannot change the framing. Okay.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
You'll just have to read the
We, did,
tablet.
we, didn't,
photos
we didn't
and-
think about that one.
No.
So
apologies. Uh,
we have a situation here where a character in our realm, Estefania Jimenez, she's part of House Jimenez and she's a royalist. She basically says, okay, well, we need more soldiers. And she's proposing essentially more religious tolerance so we can get more soldiers in our realm. And then on the flip side, Esteban of Lara, he is a pious character. He's saying, well, hang on, we should solve this issue by giving power to a holy knightly order. So that's now, let's say, the political play here. How are we solving our soldier shortage? Either through religious tolerance or by supporting a local order. But this isn't just, let's say, a dilemma where you get to make a decision. This is now the realm, like this drama playing out in your realm. And different characters within your realm are now starting to think about, okay, which side am I supporting? You can see this at the bottom here, where if you check Martin of Lara, he is a loyal character. So he will say, well, I'm actually, even though I'm part of House Lara, I'm supporting the cause of the royalists here because I'm loyal, right? So we can see here how it says what the appeals are of either side, and for this example agenda, it's essentially loyal characters that will appeal. The royalist side will appeal to loyal characters, and the let's say the knightly order side will appeal to pious characters, and then every character starts to take side. But there can be other factors as well. So, for example, characters will be more likely to join the side of their dynastic leader, like the leader of the house. You can check here. House Lara, for example, has a dynastic leader. They're currently part of the Kingdom of Aragon, so they will not be part of any internal agendas. But if that character was in our realm, then characters of that house would be more likely following them to their side.
Interesting.
So that's one sort of
Oh,
way of
Jesus.
essentially people, the powerful people in your realm, taking side for these problems. And we really intend them to be not just, okay, +5 food here or +20% gold income, but really quite foundational ways of how your faction changes.
I mean, some of them could lead to real epic consequences, right?
Yeah.
You could potentially have civil wars spawning as a result of agendas going one way or another.
Changing succession laws would be
Oh
one,
my God.
like where it really
Tired.
is quite a foundational, almost like how your realm build comes together is being changed by these agendas. And yeah, like
Yeah.
I say, the idea here was how essentially little things can bubble up into big conflicts. Like, there was a dispute over trading rights with another realm, and that now, because powerful people take sides on each side, now suddenly a civil war is engulfing.
And as here we have a tangible example as well. It's not just a plus or minus. You know, if you
Ooh.
one option actually unlocks a whole new building.
God, I need some coffee or something.
That can kind of change the way that you shape your realm.
Fucking tired.
Now, what we want to achieve is essentially that political gameplay actually plays out on the map. So you're not just, let's say, doing political actions on the UI, spending currencies and whatnot, but there's actually spatial gameplay, how a large realm will be harder to wrestle with because of the distances, right? Like, I mean, that's a part of the problem of the Holy Roman Empire. So there's actually active gameplay for the player. And a big part of this would be swaying people to either side. So currently that works with the faction leader. We talked about how maybe later on you have special officers like the Chancellor who does this, who can use to do that. But our faction leader can now try to sway characters. So you can check here Berenguela. She's currently neutral. She's sort of conflicted. You know, she's loyal, so she kind of supports the loyalists, but she's also pious, so she's sort of conflicted. And we can try to sway her to the side of the knights, because we like knightly orders. You know, we want to build cool units, these will whatnot. So we go here, and we can try to.
You can't see.
Knights, and, okay. And now we pray that it works. No, that part. And it has not worked. It has failed. A critical fail. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that could be, cool gameplay, of course, around, how cunning or how gregarious diplomatic is your faction leader. It can either work or fail. We might be thinking about building in resource investment as well. Obviously, with enough money, you might always be able to sway.
Yeah.
But in this case, it failed, and we can now see that the royalist side is gaining more and more traction. So we
Ooh,
already
fuck,
have
man.
Berenguela supporting them. We know that Martin is also leaning towards the Royalists. And here, if we unturn again,
Is that someone desperately trying to trade with you?
I desperately want to peace. But
Yeah.
It's not the name of the game.
okay, Martin has. So now it's essentially a bit of a shame. It's now a stalemate, so it's basically having a situation where parts of the realm are basically realms divided. You as the crown, you always get to decide, but you have to live with the consequences. In this case, because it's even, it's basically down to us how we decide. What's really cool is if you have more support on one side than the other, going against the will of the powerful people of the realm, that can have consequences.
Oh,
The
shit.
diplomacy could be reduced, and that's where you can get into situations like rebellions popping up, right? If everyone wants the succession laws to change, but you're saying no, I'm not changing it, then that's one reason how a civil war could break out.
Oh,
So
cool, yeah.
we can now say, okay, we're gonna establish support the local order, and as Pav was hinting at, we can now here in our in Burgos we can build a pilgrim hospice. That's essentially the first level in the knightly order headquarters, which will ultimately give us access um, to these units.
Yeah.
So that's just one example. Like we said early on, I mean, this is all, let's say, exploratory
Yeah.
content. There's no guarantee that this agenda specifically will be in the game at the very end, but that's sort of the kind of thing
Yeah,
how
it's
we would
pretty, that's
internally
pretty cool.
organize
That is
to
actually
ultimately
pretty
play
cool.
out.
I see some people asking about building slots. I think we covered a lot of that in our
Yeah.
very first stream.
We have slotless construct. We don't
Yes.
have a limit on the amount of
because they
buildings you
said
can build.
limited build slots. Oh no.
No,
So
no, no,
I
no.
recommend going back and watching because
Yes.
we talked a lot about construction.
We
in
have
our
removed
first.
building slots, and we have limitless.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
technically we still have
Well,
slots,
yes, but
there's
limits,
no
yeah.
there's
Yeah.
no limit to the number of slots.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
Cool. So, are we ready to ask our first questions?
I think so. Probably forgotten some things, but
we want to make sure we get time for the factions and redacted at the end.
Yep.
So,
Might be a long one today.
the reason we do these streams is to keep you guys updated on what we're doing, but also to try and help funnel and give you guys more of an input into things like active decisions that we're trying to make, or things where community input would really help bolster some of our own ideas. So we do those in these streams every section. So we have a couple of questions, I think it is, for characters and dynasties, which I'll throw onto now.
And there's obviously the broad question of listen to everything we're saying, and then just tell us what you think. Just in general, there's always go to the forums and just tell us what you thought about whatever we're
Class
talking about.
and
And then
freedom.
there's a few of these questions that we pick out that we think
Did
probably
you
worth
enjoy
chatting
about
about.
These questions will be posted.
family
I think they are
system?
now posted
Or
on
did
the
it feel
forums.
like
So if you see these, you have any strong thoughts about any of them, even any middle thoughts, run on over and let us know what you think. So we can quickly run through these. So the first is, what level of archetyping would you expect from characters, classes, freedom, trait based?
Yeah. So I think it ties a little bit into. I think in general we want to move away from, okay, here's a diplomat type character and he can only do diplomacy. But there naturally have to be some restrictions. Like not everyone can do, let's say, priestly agent actions, right? Like that would have to be a priest type character with a specific, let's say, education in this case. So we're definitely still exploring and thinking about how much we would lean into these roles, right? So do you have characters who will just never pick up the sword and be a general? Do you have characters who highly specialize into, let's say, trade and economy, and they're the only ones you can use for trading?
And is it based on the character's trait? They're born with a disposition to be better at diplomacy or warfare, or is it something that you could develop with the character based on where you put them and how you train them up essentially through the campaign? There are different approaches that we can take, so it's kind of a question of what feels good.
I will quickly point out Jasmine Rogue. It's probably Jasmine Rogue has posted some really great comments. We won't have the time to delve into them because they are all quite long, but I can see that they have been captured by the community team. So we'll make sure we at least read through them. But thank you for the really in-depth comments there. So the next question is about one of our older titles then. So what did you enjoy about Rome 2's family system, and where did it feel lacking?
Yeah. So I think there are always parallels between the family system in Rome 2, which certainly evolved quite a bit from launch to its last form in Empire Divided, and to how we would look at dynasties for Medieval 3. You know, basically groups of characters with some internal power within the realm. I think in the later iterations they could even also own regions. So there are definitely some parallels, and we looked a lot into it. We did our own research, essentially, what have people said so far, and I think one major lesson learned we already talked about that, how important it is that character progression feeds into dynastic progression and feeds back into new characters. But we're definitely interested to hear more about what you folks think about yeah, what sort of worked in that family system, and uh, what sort of, let's say, problematic pitfalls would be.
And our last question then is, what kind of political plays or plots would you love to see represented?
Yep, I mean, that's obviously an exciting space to explore. Just some cool options like, yeah, succession laws could change with these agendas. A favorite of mine is the idea that you might have an essentially an internal vassal that's part of your faction, like a duke, who wants to become, let's say, more independent. Essentially, raise them to a kingdom status that might still be your vassal, but ultimately more independent. And there are a lot of cool, more, let's say, ideas that we would love to hear some folks' favorites.
Yeah, some obscure claims
Right, right.
from distant relatives lost to
Yeah.
time, whatever.
Fantastic. Well then, do you want me to jump back to the game, or do you want me to jump back to our camera while you set up?
I think we can jump right back in.
Yep.
Cool.
We're going back
As a
in.
reminder, I think I saw some links in chat of where you can go if you want to answer those. There will be more questions coming up in the stream, as well as something some bigger questions at the end.
Yes.
But if you wanna jump in with your thoughts, feel free.
Biggest
Okay.
question at the end.
I'm gonna really hope I press the right one. Hey.
Yes, there we are. So, yeah.
Trading
We talked a
economy
little bit
now.
about the economy in our first stream. There have been since. There's been more work on it. There has actually been an iteration that we sort of looked at and weren't quite happy with. And now this is where we're at now. Um, Essentially, like a iteration on top of that. And a big part is trade. Trade routes. They're always, let's say, an integral part of any total war game. They tie into diplomacy, but they're really a way for you to customize your economy. One thing we were really excited about, and it ties a bit into characters, is the idea that you actually use your characters to establish trade routes. A bit sort of almost like marrying our trade routes from past games with the Med2 merchants who would go to specific locations, right? So you could send a character to another region and actually use them to establish a trade route. The kicker here is what we're really excited about, maybe unreasonably excited, but they're no longer between factions, but between regions. That can mean between regions of different factions, but also between your own regions.
Okay.
So, for example, now we send our character. We can now set up a trade route between our capital, Burgos.
Day traders starting at. Oh.
Click the button. And Toledo.
Oh. There we go.
And hopefully we'll see some nice traders moving around here.
Yep.
Oh, there he is.
Roads are missing, but the trade models are there.
They're trailing. They're
Yeah.
they're blazing forward to
Making their
set
own
the
path.
trail. Yeah.
One thing we're doing where the value of the trade route will kind of inform how busy it is. So there'll be really dense kind of caravans on the more valuable trade routes, and more sparse on the less valuable, so you can really get a feel.
We had a really cool bug that unfortunately got fixed, where we had ships moving
Trade ships, yeah.
along the
Ships.
trade route. Land
That's
ships.
that's pretty fucking
Really
cool.
cool, and
That you had to physically
But yeah,
go
we are maybe overly, but we
to
are
the
overly strict on that
region
because for us it's a brand new thing.
and
Being able to
actually
trade
establish a
within
trade
your own
route.
faction, between your own
That's fucking
trading
awesome.
towns is yeah, it's something new that's very exciting.
Instead of it
Really sort
having
of
like
that, let's say, the fantasy of building your trade network, right? Like within your own
button,
realm, but
whatever.
also beyond, and really customizing how trade flows. What does trade do? Well, it's one way to really boost the wealth of connected regions. We're going to talk about wealth more in a minute. But one important aspect would be how they help to distribute strategic goods throughout your realm.
Yeah.
In past games, often it was essentially, you could say, a light bulb switch that went on. If you had a trade route with another faction, you traded, let's say, iron with them. You had access to iron. Here, it's a little bit more nuanced. It's not implemented yet. It's a really cool design. So we're gonna switch into paper design mode for a bit and show some cool
Should I get that up?
design
I
diagrams.
wish we had the whiteboard.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll bring the first one up now, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, that's pretty fucking
So-
cool, but
Oh, yep. Oh, it's got characters and dynasties on the bottom. We're all going to have to pretend that trade and economy is highlighted.
Yes.
God.
Shameful.
Goes the
Oh.
way down. So what we didn't feel like is appropriate to really get into number crunching. Like, okay, I have 32 iron, and what do I do with it? Right? It feels more appropriate to the scale of the game, to the lens you have as the crown of Castile. That it's a little bit more abstracted than that, but still a notion of how much iron do I extract here felt quite important. And by the way, I'm using iron as an example.
Yep.
There
There would be lots of
more resources are
different-
available.
yeah, different strategic goods.
Yeah.
But imagine a situation where, so we own those blue boxes. These are our regions. So we have Cordoba, Burgos, Sussex, and Normandy. And we produce a lot of iron in Cordoba. And imagine there are essentially three tiers. Tier one is I produce iron locally. I have iron in that region. Tier two would be I have iron locally, but I have so much of it I can trade it away. And then tier three is I have so much iron that I have it locally. I can trade it away, but I can also trade the right to trade it away. Right?
Oh, wow.
And that's basically tier three. That in this example, where Cordoba is like a super built up. I really invested in my infrastructure
Oh.
there. I have the highest level iron mine, so I have access to tier three iron. I can now set up trade routes. I set up a trade route with Burgos, so Burgos has access to tier two iron.
Yep.
Because I traded the right to trade and access to iron. So I can now use iron in Burgos, but I can also trade it further. So I set up a trade route with Sussex and a trade route in Normandy, and then that's how I essentially now from that massive iron hub in Cordoba set up the network of iron throughout my realm. And then equally, I might say, okay, I have a neighboring faction that rules Granada, and I trade with Granada. There would be the typical diplomatic tie-ins with that, right? Like you need diplomatic permissions to do that, or maybe it's a favor, maybe they pay me, so I trade iron with them, and they trade it further. They take my iron that I produce in Cordoba and trade it to another faction that owns Seville, and that's how sort of from these big, let's say, hubs where things are produced,
Oh,
like
okay.
think of maybe cloth in Flanders.
Okay, I get it now.
Wine.
I was like so confused at a
Silk
moment.
Road could be, a factor here. So basically, when you have these hubs that produce lots of things, you can really see it spreading.
Yeah.
So,
But you're not microing numbers again or stocks.
Yeah.
It's kind of
more of a tiered
yeah.
system. Yeah.
A question I've seen in chat phrased in a few different ways. Two questions. So the first one is they've been asking how's the AI going to interact with the system, right? And I think the presumptive answer I'd give is that's the point of pre-production is to work out the mechanics and features we want. So
this is the crucial point of pre-production for us to work out these mechanics and designs as early as possible, so the AI team can start building AI to work with these systems. Yeah.
The second question I saw was why would I want iron? What would iron do for me in game? Is this giving me access to units or upgrades? Is it just purely economical?
No, I mean, we would definitely say tap into some classic Total War elements here, where the best units probably require some strategic resources.
Mhm.
Yes, iron maybe for your later game upgrades, war horses for specific cavalry units, and yes, maybe some purely economic ones like yes, clothing and silk would be more boosting your economy, but presumably
also noble classes, right, and things like
unlocking higher tier buildings, right? So
cloth halls and
buildings made only out of cloth. That's a tent.
That is literally a tent. You invented a tent.
I did.
Yeah, and then if you go forward one image, of course you can also get into situations like this here now. What if we were at war and an enemy came to Cordoba, smashed down the city, and it led to a lot of destruction. So now our level 10 iron mine was smashed down, and that tier 3 iron that we had access to is now level 2. So that basically now means the entire supply chain throughout the medieval, like the Western European world here, collapses. Like your production centers in Sussex, where you're upgrading your units, now has no access to iron anymore because Burgos is only getting access to a tier 1 iron. And I think that can be a really cool way, and certainly ties into the AI interaction as well.
Oh, so it can fuck you up too.
You can get to cool fantasies
Okay.
like really taking out key hubs.
And this, I mean, we're talking about kind of taking out the production here, but what's also a key point is the actual trade route itself,
So you gotta be like
defending the flow of those resources
careful
from
and
causing
plan out
trade,
your
for example. And this is where
trade routes and
capital
everything.
trade route comes in, where what we discussed in the first stream, where you will want to defend these trade routes with things like castle construction to maintain the supply and prevent disruption.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to be a dramatic, permanent
Yep.
loss. It could be just a temporary disruption from raiding them.
Okay.
To our trade-based questions.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
No, we have. Hang on, we do have more economy to
We
talk
have
about.
economy
Aspects of
questions
resources
after trade
meaning
questions.
with
Okay, let's do
you
trade
want
question first, then back in the game.
Then we'll go back and
there
work
are
on
some
It is hot.
economic factors
So the first question
pretty
we have
much.
here, these will be on the forums, is what aspects of resource chaining would you want to engage with? Could you explain that one?
Yeah. So again, something we are discussing internally: how much we want to lean into the idea of resource chains.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty clear that we are not the Anno franchise, right? We would have always the Total War lands, but yeah, do you have a situation where you produce
wheat?
Yeah, or let's say silk, right?
Yeah.
You have silk as a resource that gets delivered to somewhere else, where you then produce noble clothing, and you get into that chaining. And we were interested in, let's say, what's the temperature in the community?
Wheat,
what do you guys feel?
Another one.
I make all my clothes out of wheat, so
Yeah.
Food.
So what's the temperature for how deep they want to gain access to?
Because like I said, we're not Anno, but we it's just a question of how far
you
we.
just said that as someone in the chat said Total War is not Anno confirmed.
Yeah, I mean, it's every franchise has its strengths and
Absolutely,
places.
yeah.
I mean, we love Anno to play.
Oh yeah,
occasionally,
absolutely.
but not quite the same.
Yeah.
And the second question then, so what are some economic fantasies you'd love to see? And we've got here, dominate the timber industry.
Yeah, so there's obviously a connection between these two, but I think in that example I just gave, where you essentially disrupted the iron network of an enemy potentially, there's obviously one cool way where your military campaign will have an economic impact that will likely have an impact on future military campaigns. But yeah, we were interested, like what. I think we're always interested in the range of playstyles, and Total War is always ultimately a military war game. But we've been pretty open from the start that with Med 3 we want to be more varied than ever before, support more playstyles, and we're interested in what sort of people would love to see in terms of dominating through economic means. Can you really, without
play tall rather than just painting the map red, dominate?
Without getting your blade out, you're dominating the enemy into the ground just through economic
and manipulating. There's so many different.
So Vidoga has asked a question that I think maybe kind of lands into this of their idea of an economic fantasy is, could I raid an iron trade route, steal that iron, and then use that to upgrade my units without actually having access to it myself?
Ooh.
That's an interesting one. It would be. I don't think we would necessarily treat it as, oh, you have a piece of iron, but I think it could be almost like a temporary trade route, right? Like a temporary trade route that you set up.
But that's exactly what we're talking about.
I was going to say
that is an economic fantasy. So do tell us, because that's exactly the stuff we're looking for to see how we can how we can
like
play.
Siphoning. It's like siphoning the. That's a good one.
For a period of time as you're raiding. Yeah, that's good.
Shall we move on to economy?
Yeah.
Do you want to go back to the game build?
So yeah, that's pretty fucking cool. So you can really fuck somebody's economy up really badly.
Economy. So internally, sometimes when we talk about the game, there's sort of a slide I always pull out with 3 questions on it that I really like.
You wrote them.
Yeah, I wrote them. So it's basically, what kingdom will you create? what dynasties will lead it and what people will inhabit the realm, right? So I think that's sort of what we always come back to, these layers, like what kind of version of the kingdom of Castile are you building? We talked about dynasties, right? Like who are the powerful houses of the realm and how are they helping and how are they sometimes a thorn in your side? But the people are really important as well. It's sort of the, it would be appropriate to say the lowest layer, maybe, but it's sort of the baseline,
The foundational layer.
The foundational
yeah,
layer, exactly. Yeah. It's the that's where religion comes in, culture and whatnot. And right from the start, we always talked about the notion of the war and peace cycle. When you go to war, it should feel like you're mobilizing the people, the entire realm. You go to war, and you really feel like, okay, the men who are tilling the fields are now in your armies in the east. So who's on the fields, right? And that's where one thing we started to look at, and people might have discovered it in the game here already, but the notion of effectively workforce. So essentially, I think we talked about it a bit in previous streams. When you recruit a unit, or you muster a unit rather, you take those people out from the population. They're now in that unit. But equally, um, buildings effectively do the same. So when you construct a building, you raise the demand of workforce from our three population classes. Um, they're still not necessarily the final set that we have, but it's the three baseline groups we always think about: peasantry, townsfolk, and nobility. And every building you build will essentially have a workforce demand from these population classes. And that creates this direct friction where I've now upgraded my building, have a booming economy because workforce is exactly ideal to the demand, but now I need to raise an army. So now I'm reducing my available workforce, which then ultimately reduces the throughput output
Yep.
of the buildings.
Ugh.
So we can see here, for example, um, here's a Forge Works building, will be an upgrade to the smithies. We can see that it would increase the base demand of your urban population. Now, of course, we also want to make sure we reward players for having a surplus. So if you have more people than you need, it gives you a little boost as well. But generally, it's most efficient to essentially always upgrade your buildings to essentially match that one to one, which gives you the highest efficiency. But it will also mean you're more susceptible. If you're suddenly you go to war, you lost an army, you need to replenish, you draw more workforce away from your lands, you will really feel that economic impact. In the past, we talked about things like war exhaustion.
Yep.
And how we really wanted to make sure that war exhaustion isn't something that sort of is imposed on you, but you can really feel it as part of your simulation. I think workforce would be one element where, yeah, if you literally exhausted the people of your realm because they're all killed in battles, your
Yeah,
economy will feel it.
I mean, that's one of the key kind of
Oh, that's fucking cool.
philosophies that's fueled us from the beginning. That there's a
Like, people get tired over time,
there's
or if you
a
don't
built-in
have
need
like
to kind of
enough
interact.
people
So
to
these
build
things don't
like
feel
a
intrusive.
building,
They can try and
like
make the
yeah,
game
okay,
construct
okay.
basically part is the result of
That's
your
cool.
actions and all of the systems that are interplaying and within the campaign.
Yep.
So you understand where this is coming from.
So yeah, you
It's
really gotta pay attention to your own people.
Now, our three population groups, they have sort of relatively clear focal points right now. So the peasant population is mainly required by the buildings you have in the rural countryside. Every region has a different, let's say, makeup. You can see this here. So in Burgos, we can upgrade our fields to a certain level. Can we do actually have a can build some ore pits here as well. And then in Toledo, you have a different makeup where you can see here that the fields can be upgraded much further. So the idea that certain regions will have a higher, could say, aptitude to be developed in certain ways, and that's sort of the population, or that's the building types where you mainly need your peasants. Whereas for your town buildings like smitheries and crafts like workshops and forges, of course, that's where the urban townsfolk comes in. Now the nobility will also have some buildings, like if you think of administrative buildings or if you build a keep, that will essentially require nobles. And nobles are quite, let's say, in a special place because they're in a way your most valuable population group. you can see just from the numbers how, and these numbers are obviously not final, but the magnitude is sort of roughly in an interesting space how we would want things to be. Where I currently have almost 500 nobles in New Castile, so around Toledo. If I recruit a few units of knights, that will essentially be that population already gone, right? So really susceptible to losing knights in battle. You really feel that very quickly.
Yeah.
And equally with buildings as well. So you kind of want lots of them, but if you have too many of them compared to the rest of the population, you start corruption creeping in. It's essentially a way to sort of say, well, okay, you have lots of nobles, they help you to administer the realm, they might help with public order, whatnot, but you get that economic drain.
But also just really makes it, again, that kind of that connection makes it so tangible on the battlefield, where you really, these are your elite units, but there's so few of them that you have to be really mindful, and also obviously losing them is a big impact.
And so I saw a question from chat of how am I. Is there a way to convert between these population types? Am I, is the intent that if I can force the farmers to become more urban? Or?
Yeah, so urbanization
Yes.
is definitely one, let's say, key economic part of your build. Is your realm becoming heavily urbanized, or are you leaning more into rural population? We also recently discussed some really cool, let's say, recruitment-related conversions almost, right? If you think of the Ottomans, who essentially recruited their Janissaries from non-Muslim population groups. So by recruiting the unit, you would literally transform your people. You have things like essentially almost like emergency nobility being created by just gifting land to, let's say, more the burghers, right? So I think there are interesting conversion mechanics that are more direct that we would tap into. So I guess short answer, yes.
Yeah, and also the evolution of units and armies, and then more professional kind of armies that are less
part of it. Yeah.
Don't that rely on nobility as much, but that's over time and how you transform that with your faction as well. Yeah. That plays into it.
6 months ago, we talked a lot about wealth and how we want to make sure that there's a physical, let's say, representation of wealth. Like you can take wealth from a region by sapping the land. If you raise an army, you stock the army with supplies. You would try and, let's say, convert wealth into supplies. So if that army loses those supplies, that wealth gets converted into wealth for the enemy. So that sort of physical interaction of wealth in the game world. And that's represented here by urban wealth. And that's very much inspired by the economy in Shogun 2, people will remember, which I think did this very excellently, where you had essentially a slow ticker of wealth building up. It's essentially the idea of almost like building an economy that reinvests in itself. So especially urban buildings will often only give you a little bit of wealth, but that wealth will essentially accumulate over time. So by building, let's say, a tradition and an entrepreneurial community, you could say, within your regions, you would start to build up that commerce mindset. And that number ticks up over time, and ultimately you'll benefit from that engine building up, but you're then susceptible from losing that wealth through raid. Maybe character actions could directly siphon some of that wealth off into your lands or enemy lands. And ultimately, your income is essentially a combination of that urban wealth, which is ticking up. So we can see here plus 10. So every turn, that number goes up by 10. Rural wealth, which is fairly traditional, how we treated income in past titles, where, yeah, upgrading my lumber camp will give me bonus income. If I upgrade it from tier 2 to 3, I get 200 now instead of 100. And ultimately, that gives you, after applying corruption and administration cost, gives you a number that's getting taxed. Administration cost is a sense of, let's say, your realm growing, and sort of that, let's say, tax would be the wrong word, but sort of a penalty ultimately of how difficult it will become to collect taxes. Distance to capital will be a very big factor here, which was always very cool for spatial gameplay, right? When you have regions very far away. It's in a way really interesting, but it's also difficult to administer all of that, and might invite things like probably more efficient to create a vassal over there that pays tribute, but essentially organizes the realm over there.
And
And then
potentially different taxation models as well.
And then there'd be risks with that, right?
Yeah.
That you'd be giving up some control.
Yeah. Okay. I think that was it. Let's see, and we are well. We are.
We're going to want to move on.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll throw up to our last questions of this section, and then we'll move on to factions.
Hooray!
Let's hope I'm pressing the right button.
All right.
I am. So we only have one question for this section because it's a big tax economy one.
Yeah.
What are your expected trade-offs between going economically tall versus wide? What is economically tall versus wide?
Well, I mean, it has sort of different lenses to it, but generally it's always the classic trade-off is: are you building a big empire, so you have lots of land and getting a little bit of money from all your lands, or are you more the, let's say, Venice or Flanders, heavily urbanized, very few regions, but very well built up? So that would be one way of providing a trade-off between these two. And then there are some other, let's say, interesting pathways here between, sort of how, what population groups are you leaning into? What are the trade-offs in between? So, yeah, just
So you gotta be like looking careful, or your whole empire or whatever will just crumble.
Okay. We'll be moving on
Even
to
if you're not in a war,
a couple of years of work.
apparently.
And then someone saying 2 Manic releases tomorrow. So, we'll see what comes out tomorrow. Okay.
I didn't get that memo.
This is our release stream, isn't it? Alright, so I'm trying to think of how we want to pivot into this. We could go. Do you want me to just bring up studio camera?
Maybe do that
Reveal that third section and we'll just chat.
Yeah.
Factions and redacted.
Yes.
So.
Oh, factions
we're talking
and
about
vote.
factions now. What are we talking about with factions?
So we're very excited about this because this is a new level of I guess kind of engagement that we're seeking from everybody. But yes, we're essentially talking about our planned playable factions for launch.
Yeah.
And we have some we're going to go through basically what we've locked in as the playable factions, and then we're going to offer up some choices.
Yeah,
essentially.
indeed. Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
That's
basically we have
the super exciting thing.
I think the caveat here is that we don't know yet how many playable factions will there be actually on launch.
We haven't settled on a final number because that will come out of various different kind of what's the word I'm looking for?
Production reality.
Yes.
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah. But certainly we did talk about, let's say, past historical games and how we are definitely looking at that as a North Star.
Yeah.
So ultimately what this will come down to is we have a number of factions we feel like they're locked in, they will be playable, and we'll talk about them. And then an unknown number of additional slots, and we will ask all of you to vote and prioritize.
Yeah, so essentially we're going to go through, we're going to take you through what we've locked down as our locked factions, and then we're going to go through a long list of options that
we're 24.
Yeah, because what we're looking for,
Oh, I did.
You
snag
my own.
And these this vote is essentially to aid us in prioritizing the factions that we pre-produce, because again we talked about pre-production being a point at which we lay those foundations that involves researching the various factions, building up the rosters, the faction mechanics, all of these things.
I think that's a great point. We should talk a little bit about what does it mean for a faction to be playable, right? And I think we have sort of this understanding, but not everyone might share this. But for us, when we say playable faction, it means it's selectable on the front end, of course, but really with it comes a certain expectation of, let's say, the uniqueness of the experience. There's a big forum post where we talk about vertical replayability versus horizontal replayability, and how we this isn't, let's say, a game where two factions that you choose will be fundamentally different because we want you to be able to blend in between playstyles, right? But that being said, when you pick England, we want you to feel like, okay, there's something unique about England, right? Yeah. So there's a certain expectation that there will be some unique units, unique mechanics, unique, let's say, narrative elements as well, right? So a certain USP, I guess.
Yeah. Unique selling point, playing point, or whatever.
And
but yeah,
if a faction doesn't get picked, that doesn't mean it's not in the game.
Yeah. So this isn't about which factions. There will be factions, more factions in the game. There will be emergent factions that may be on this list, but this is more about the factions that we work up, design, and implement as playable, as selectably playable from the beginning.
Yeah.
Should we start off with the ones that we're?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we should talk about the map first.
Yes.
Start talk about the map?
I mean, we've spoken about our map extents in previous posts. This is this is kind of a rough outline of where we're starting off, which is roughly Attila, Metu.
It's
Speak up louder,
to be
man.
fair with
God
the
damn.
audience, it's a little bit smaller than Attila in terms of geographical extent, but also to be fair, and I hope you folks would have, let's say, seen this in the build already, that we are so much more detailed.
Yeah.
Right.
The scale is far greater.
And if you think about, let's talk about Empire, which had arguably the largest map because it was the globe. It was very zoomed out, right? And we are so much more detailed here. So I think, in terms of map size,
it's the biggest map we've ever done.
We are way bigger, but in terms of geographical outline, this is what we are at launch. Currently, what we're thinking of, Iberia to roughly, let's say, Mesopotamia, Baghdad, northern Scandinavia to southern Scandinavia to northern Africa. Now, in terms of the playable factions, you can obviously see them here, and I'm sure a lot of you will have already picked out who they are. Essentially, we sat down and really thought and evaluated, and as you do in these situations, you create an Excel sheet, do a scoring, and we sort of came up with a few, let's say, rubrics and a let's say razor for how do we make this decision. And I think an important one we of course look at is historical relevance. Okay, looking back at the medieval history, trying to be objective, who are the big names that really shaped the era? Another lens is, you could say, the Hollywood factor, right? Like if there was a Hollywood film being created, who are the likely, let's say, scenarios and settings, right?
Yeah.
We look at how interesting do we feel like we can really make their starting position and their journey through the game. How interesting, how unique, how varied could that look like? A lot of factors essentially that sort of fed into this, and this is the set of 6 ones that we felt like, okay, this is a starting point that we feel really confident in. This will be a good foundation for the playable set.
So these don't need to be voted on.
These are not. Yeah, these are in. These are in. This is like like the. In Eurovision, you have the 5.
And so to answer some people who are just joining, I'm confused, but we only have 6 playable factions. These are the factions that we here at CA have said these are the kind of, I guess, essential ones for the experience we're trying to create.
They're locked in.
And what we're about to do is show you guys 23 other potential factions, and you guys are going to have your voice. You're going to be able to vote on which ones you think are the most important, the most impactful for you, the ones that you think are essential to the setting, and I was gonna say more, but do you know what? We can just start getting into it.
Well,
let's cover what these are.
Yeah, let's cover these.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, England and France. I don't think there could be a medieval 3 game without either of them. They're very iconic. They're arguably, for better or worse, the most iconic factions of the medieval era.
Yep.
Of course, tied into that internal
Western Europe,
in Western Europe. But also, I think when people hear medieval, that's likely what they think of. Obviously, the Hundred Years' War ties these together into a really strong evocative conflict. Some of the most iconic medieval units and formations are essentially represented by these 2 factions. So they're locked in, England and France. Then the Holy Roman Empire, and we talked about this in the forums a bit, how we really see, and we discussed this at great length with our professor consultant, if this is a valid approach, but we really see it as one realm. There will be a lot of feudal dynamics within the Holy Roman Empire. It's not how to say, like, it's not one simple shade,
internal, external vassals, and whatnot.
one unified, like highly unified realm, but it is one realm. It's one realm, one sovereign entity. Of course, also very iconic, exactly for that feudal structure, the iconic power struggle that essentially led through the entire medieval era with the Pope or the Catholic Church. So the Holy Roman Empire, another really big player in the medieval era, and that's our Team West. Because this map sometimes looks like a 3v3 RTS map, which then leads us to the Byzantine Empire, arguably the most sophisticated realm at the start of the game. Obviously, the iconic, let's say, remnant of the Roman Empire. I mean, in fact, I know if you want to be a stickler to history, you would call it the Roman Empire, but it's the Byzantines for us for now. Also very iconic in terms of military formations. Very interesting blend of, let's say, drawing from different cultures, and of course with some unique administrative challenges, and most importantly, enemies on all gates, right? So really iconic, a very interesting starting position there in the Mediterranean center. Then, of course, really important, Sultanate of Rome. We're going to talk about the Seljuks in a bit, but Sultanate of Rome, another, let's say, really iconic player. It's the Turkish faction of the medieval era, who will then, of course, transform into the Ottoman Empire. There would be a lot to talk about this on itself, but we don't necessarily see it as they will always become the Ottomans, but it's a very likely transition that they will go through. They, of course, combine. I was fortunate enough that I was able to do some research on this on the Sultanate of Rome roster recently. Super cool and iconic blend of flavors: Turkish influences, Persian influences, Syrian influences, and of course then Greek and Byzantine influences. So really interesting faction. And then last but not least, the Kingdom of Jerusalem as sort of the Crusader state kingdom. Of course, the Crusades will be a major element in our game, and having the Kingdom of Jerusalem present right from the start playable will be, I think, it will be a super iconic faction to play through as well.
I've seen so many people in chat saying, "Where is?"
Let's go to the rest.
Every faction that they've listed is an option for them to be able to vote on. I've seen so far. All right, shall we?
Yes, let's do it.
We've got not a huge amount of time to get through a huge amount of factions, so this is going to be the map where we're going to start populating. I've bunched these up into rough groupings, so we'll reveal them one at a time. We'll have a quick chat about why people should vote for that faction, and then we'll go on to the next. So starting us off. Hopefully that's readable. It's barely readable for me.
I need my glasses.
Italian city-states.
Yes.
So
merchant republics.
Yeah, obviously super iconic, and in fact, to lift.
I mean, the Republic of France.
There
Venice.
was a period where Venice
I mean,
was
come
on the
on.
list of locked-in ones, and
Venice was locked for a while.
Then you got a Republic of Persia.
Yeah, very iconic. But the other republics in
Pisa.
Italy also very interesting sovereign bodies, basically in the period. Republic of Genoa, of course, and Pisa, huge trading. Or you could imagine how they become really huge trading empires in your campaign. The Commune of Milan is.
I'm just going to quickly cut you off. Do not put. You're putting the numbers in chat like you think that's the vote. We will reveal how you can vote.
There is so yeah. Just there's going to be a survey where you can choose. You can make your votes. That survey is going to be live until probably September. We're going to keep it going. It's going to be open for a while. We'll be posting up periodically.
We're not deciding it yet.
No, because I see. To be fair, I saw so many people putting one. So I think Venice is in a good spot. But at the end of this, when we've gone through all of these, there'll be a QR code on screen.
You will have plenty of time to vote. We'll be updating where the vote is at, so you can kind of campaign for your favorites and get others rally to vote for your favorites. So yeah, there'll be plenty of opportunities.
Milan, another, let's say, it was quite an important player in all these imperial wars between the Holy Roman Empire and the Italian holdings. And there's a little bit of that Med 2 nostalgia factor here. Let's not beat around the bush. But so we wanted to give it out as a vote as well.
For sure. Also, something that we didn't mention, we are dropping, if we haven't already, a blog that covers this in more detail.
About 20 minutes.
Our thinking about this, behind this. Also, calls out some of the notable emissions that you'll see, and why they're not there. So yeah, we will. If we don't get to cover that, it'll all be in the blog.
Someone asked how many they can vote for. We will go into all the voting details just as we get to the end. For now, we'll run through who your options will be.
Yeah.
Should we go to the next, or
yes.
still got?
Yeah, let's go to the next. Let's keep going.
Realms of the Eastern Empire.
Yeah, this is going to be painful for you.
Well, we gotta have Hungary, dude, and Poland.
For number 5.
Don't start having 5.
Poland is a
please.
must.
Tampering.
That's what I'll be voting for, of course.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, some really iconic factions here as well. Kingdom of Poland. Yeah. Or Duchy, rather, at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Hungary and the theme of Bulgaria. I think generally our approach here was to really look at, let's say, what were the sovereign political bodies on the map. Sometimes that straddles the line a little bit, right? Like Bulgaria was certainly like firmly a theme of the Byzantines at the period. Would probably be more of a vassal kind of starting situation. And the other ones would be certainly so the iconic kingdoms of the east of Eastern Europe.
Let's go next.
Northern European Kingdom?
We're asking for Scotland in chat, so I think there's going to be a lot of people glad to see it's an option for the vote.
I mean, you gotta have the
one of our team members who's from Scotland.
like the Viking states, of
Why
course.
is that a Northern Kingdom? This is more of a practical class.
I would say like Norway.
Obviously, there's a big difference between Scotland and Norway, but yeah, so
and of
Scotland
course
certainly
Scotland.
is
I mean, come
quite
on.
an iconic player as well of the medieval era, small but iconic. And then the three Scandinavian kingdoms, we're certainly aware of the thread we had in the forums, which was a bit of an unofficial community vote, and which sort of inspired this a little bit, to be fair. Where some of these were quite high up, so we're curious to see, but certainly, interesting factions as well.
Yes.
Next up.
Yep.
I can't even remember what order I put.
Yeah, I don't.
Barbarian powers.
Yes, Iberia, of course, currently our
Iberian.
dish,
And
certainly in a very interesting, how to say, sort of encapsulated sandbox throughout the medieval era with the Reconquista,
Leon,
a lot of cool military units as well here.
Portugal.
So yeah, and a lot of diplomatic meddling between these, because the houses and dynasties, as we talked about today, were very intertwined between these kingdoms. So it could be a really interesting place.
And to be clear, it's not like if they vote for Castile, that doesn't mean Portugal and Aragon aren't in game.
Exactly.
Right?
This is playable faction. All of these would be, I mean, we can't guarantee it, but it would be safe to assume that we intend to put all of these on the map.
Yep.
But they wouldn't be all.
It's about prioritizing which, in the time that we have, which do we work up as fully fledged playable factions for launch, and it's just to inform the priorities of how we line up the work.
Okay.
Next.
Yep.
I think I've just clustered a bunch of single. Nope, that's the next one.
Muslim empires.
Yep. These are the important, powerful empires of the medieval era for sort of the Islamic areas of the map. The Almohads or south of Iberia, of course. The Fatimids, who would then transition into the Ayyubids, Saladin's empire in Egypt. And then the Zangid, sort of as a Zangid dynasty as a vassal state of the Seljuks. And here's probably a good moment to quickly talk about the Seljuks, because there was another thing we wrestled with a little, to be fair, because we do feel like Seljuks are really important. And they will be on the map, but as our current planning, they will be essentially cut through in the middle, because their empire was quite vast into Central Asia, whereas we're currently thinking to end the map, sort of east of Baghdad a little. So it felt like not the right time to consider them for launch, and I think we're definitely hopeful to essentially expand the map after launch.
Yep.
And then, so the Seljuks are not forgotten. They're very important for us. They will be part of the game, but not the right. Doesn't feel like the right priority for launch.
Right.
So yeah, and the Zengids would likely start as a vassal of the Seljuks, and can forge out their sort of Assyrian empire, if you will.
This is where I put a bunch of
and
then the rest.
Sicily.
One more after this.
That's
Crusader state of in touch.
So
Christian Empire.
But King of Sicily, really iconic.
There was
the OG Norman kingdom, right?
Oh,
And
sure,
always
sure.
a thorn in the side of the Holy Roman Empires, and certainly very interesting starting position on
Yeah.
Sicily, in the middle of the Mediterranean. It could be really cool. Then the
Can
Principality
we
of
get
Antioch
Ukraine?
is another Crusader state. Certainly a slightly different flavor compared to Jerusalem.
Hmm.
Again, will be on the map, but are we flashing it out? Is it a priority
Yep.
to
Yeah.
flash out as a playable faction? And then finally, Kingdom of Georgia in the Caucasus. Um, Actually, really quite a fascinating kingdom, really.
Quite a
Sort of,
lot of love for Georgia in the chat as well earlier on. I think
yeah,
before
sort
we
of
even started. Yeah.
really at the edge of the, it's a classic Roman influenced world, you could say. With some really interesting roster opportunities. We looked into it a little bit as part of the Sultanate of Rum. So yeah, could be an exciting
Yeah.
playable faction as well.
Okay, we have our last bunch. I think there is a caveat here of there will be a write-in option. Am I wrong?
A write-in option? No.
There's no write-in option. So last we have the Balkan realms.
Yeah.
There was a general any other.
Well, there you
Yeah,
go.
so it could be.
The petition
The
option.
petition.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the forums. There's always a
Yeah.
write-in option on the forums.
Yeah. Yeah, Balkan realms. The Principality of Serbia and Kingdom of Croatia.
No.
Maybe I want to play Ukraine,
Certainly,
bitches.
there in sort of that melting pot of cultures and influences as
By
well.
the way,
Could be really
Ukraine's right
interesting.
here.
East-west
Kingdom of Ukraine,
symbiosis.
Yeah.
or whatever it
So
was
that's the
called
list.
back then.
So in terms of the vote, um, do we have? Oh, okay. That's just the
We
same.
will have.
Okay.
That was just so that we had one with all of them. Of
Okay.
the,
Oh yeah, no,
it
they're all
took me
bubbles. Yeah,
ages
yeah.
to put them all in
Yes,
the
no, no. I
bubbles.
appreciate it. It's great. Yes.
Thank you.
But yes, I think to answer the question previously, everybody will get 4 votes.
Yeah.
So everybody gets to vote for their favorite top four.
Top four. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's live now. I don't know if it's live at 5. Let me see. King Gobbo, Steve, as I know him, he told me it'll be pushed live in 10 minutes, and that was, I think, 8 minutes ago. So it's probably being pushed live right now. So you guys will be able to go and vote. That is our last and probably the biggest question we've ever
Yeah.
asked. So 4, does that mean we're going to be picking 4 factions? Or
Again, we will because obviously not everybody's going to choose the same four, so the list is going to be far longer. Going to have a list of all of the factions
Yep.
in priority order based on the votes.
Yep.
And again, that's the list that we will pick from as we're building the rosters for the game. Obviously, we'll have to balance the results in some way. If the only votes that come in are just the Italian states, we may have to
Yep.
we may have to add a little bit of design kind of direction and tweak that so we have a nice balance across the map. But again, largely we'll be drawing from this list as a priority.
I think we would be quite, let's say, excited to be transparent about that, right?
Yeah,
Like if it comes
absolutely.
down to, okay, here's the situation, we will explain and try to reason and
Yeah.
why we feel like, okay, we really got to push things around a little
that's right.
bit. But for now, it's really about, we want to hear how you would prioritize,
And
or you all would prioritize this list.
and the blog that we're dropping as well does speak to any summer missions that may be missing.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the
Yeah.
Seljuks and some others.
Yeah, exactly, and that's largely down to the map extents that we have at launch. But when we're building the game in a way that we can expand the map, so those factions will come along when the time is right.
someone said only 4 of all that list. So they're getting a little taste of the experience you guys have to go through of trying to narrow down from so many options what's the priority for launch and what we really want to focus on. So we said we'd include you, and that's the highs and the lows of having to make difficult choices of
I mean,
what's your priority.
will definitely be either way. It's always sad when you because I mean that's the cool thing about history, right? There's always fascinating stuff. Like when we looked into the Kingdom of Georgia, I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I can totally see this being an amazing campaign, right? And making a cool faction out of it. So hopefully we'll get to all of it with due time.
Yep, absolutely.
Well,
That's pretty cool.
I think that is pretty much our stream. Thank you everyone for all of the excitement and energy about the vote. I think this is probably the most impactful thing we've ever let the community kind of get their hands on in terms of shaping the future of a game.
Yeah.
So much as when you boot up the game, you can see a faction, you can go, I voted for them, and that's why they're in there. So
Yeah, no. So
please do go and vote.
so thank you for coming along to these streams. Thank you for engaging with the forums and the blogs. This is exactly what we want to do with MedFree. Obviously, we won't always be able to do everything that everybody wants, but again, this gives us the opportunity to be transparent about how what we're intending to do, why we're intending to do what we're doing, and kind of show you how we put the game together, as opposed to the norm of just announcing and then releasing.
And the caveat I will give one more time is the factions that aren't picked, they are not going to be on the map.
No.
This is about who is playable, not who is present.
And look, we're in pre-production. Things change. We may add to the list potentially. We may choose to pivot. We may choose to do more. This is a we shape the title as we develop, and as the game takes shape, we tweak it. We may make changes. So it's nothing is set in stone at this stage of development, which is again why we're so able to kind of get this input and inform our priorities.
Fantastic. Well, thank you both for coming on, showing more of the build.
Pleasure as always.
Thank you.
My kind of general tidying up housework. Someone asked in chat, Josh, I know it's out of topic, but when's the end time stream? So our next stream will be on Tuesday, June 30th, which
Technically
is
still June.
which is June.
Yep.
That will be that is, I'd say, 95% locked in. There's still a few little bits and bobbins I'm working on. That will be a end times focused stream. I'm going to be so careful in the words I say now to not ruin things. That stream will be half focused on, as we'd spoken about, updates and new things coming in 9.0. We'll also talk a little bit about 8.1 and when you can expect that. We will also be, I believe, revealing another of the Lords of the End Times as it stands. So that'll be next Tuesday. Tune in for that. But otherwise, this has been Building Medieval 3 Dynasties.
Hell yeah, brother. All right.
Loads of thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you in the next stream.
All right. That's it, guys. That's some really cool freaking shit that they were showing. I enjoyed that really much. Really much. That was good. That was good. I did like the trade and economy. How you can pretty much get fucked both ways. You pretty much can get fucked both ways by trading and like say you're like in war, right? And say your enemy captured one of your towns. Well, that will affect your trade route. On top of that, you can fuck with his and blah blah blah. I'm sure they're gonna have like a bunch of other shit. And then also like how long the war goes on, your men will get tired and be like, "Yo, can we like stop for a minute?" And your people will get tired of it. And it's like, okay, we're tired. We need to end this war now. Agree to a peace treaty, and just get done with it. Just get fucking done with it. All right. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I will be taking a little break. We'll probably be back. I'll probably be back around 2 or earlier, depending. With some Valheim. We're gonna do that server. So do not want to miss that. Go ahead and give me a follow. Join me on Twitch, YouTube, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Okay. Okay, hold on, I forgot. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Yeah. Peace.